You like the digs, huh? Yeah, that's my view from my penthouse apartment in New York City, I think. Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Good evening. Sorry I wasn't on last night. Had a Beatles show, really, really nice one in a town called Woodbridge, New Jersey. Great turnout, beautiful weather, and a wonderful show. So here we are. It's Tuesday. I'm going to do the chat show this evening. I see a bunch of people saying hi already, so let me just scroll back up really quick because I think Glitter Witch, of course, came in nice and early. How you doing, Glitter Witch? Great to have you back. Hi, See the Lights. How are you? Dawn is singing Mule Train because that's her favorite song. How you doing, Dawn? Great to have you as always. And Mr. Bob. Mr. Bob. Is Bob See the Lights? You see, you got to watch with Dawn. She knows everybody's real name. Hey, Kim. How you doing? Hello, everybody with the good vibes. Wonderful, wonderful. Hey, CJ. Ooh, CJ with a new, what do we call it? Icon, thumbnail, whatever. Looks kind of cool. You're going to have to explain the origin of that one. Hi, Jiminy Flippin. How you doing? Hey, Steven. Welcome to the show. Great to see you as always. I was just kind of saying hi. I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody so we don't get way behind early. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Dawn is saying she's been taking photos of envelopes for 2.5 hours. Wow, the first day issue stuff. I'd flip that. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Good, very good to see you. Hello, Steven. Yeah, first day covers. Yep. You're taking pictures. They don't. I thought you had the. Of course, everybody knows what that sound is. I thought you had the Epson duplex scanner, Dawn. Why don't you throw them through the duplex scanner? What are you doing taking pictures? Oh, welcome, Bob. How you doing? Bob is See the Lights. There you go. Hey, Jim. Welcome. Very good to see you. Kimberly N. You're the first live show I've caught at the beginning ever? Really? Well, I'm honored. Thank you very much for coming in. Great to have you. Hey, Kelly. Dawn, you can feed those. There you go. See? That's what I'm saying. You have the scanner, but you're selling them in big lots? Oh, okay. Gotcha. Right. So you don't want to. What do you get? 12 pictures maximum on eBay? That's a bit of a dilemma. Maybe you put a couple through the scanner just to show them individually and then do like a group shot. I don't know. It's up to you. The tab on the, when you put it in, Dawn, again, I know nobody can see this, but there's a gray tab at the top of this thing. And it helps you feed them in lengthwise. If you need a little extra length when you're doing your scanning. Gonna have a collage, a bunch. Tiring, yeah. It is, but if she's trying to get rid of them in bunches, I guess it makes some sense. I had a really good day all around. You know, again, people like to harp on negative stuff. Hello, Miss Squirrel. How are you? Good to see you, Kristen. Rural Squirrel. Welcome. Are you home, Rural Squirrel? Probably not. I'd love to know where you are. I had a really good day today. Reselling across the board. eBay primarily, but not just monetarily or sales-wise, but some good customer service experiences, which I would love to share with everybody because, again, it's pretty simple to complain about everything. And when things go well, I like to point that out too. And I was quick to, if anybody has any experience with dealing with eBay customer service in recent times, even, you know, going back years, it could be iffy at best. I totally understand that. And on the negative side of things, yes, I've been burnt by them too, and nobody understands what you're saying, and you get 10 different answers, all that nonsense. I've been through all that too. But I'll tell you what, today was a stellar performance. It was an online thing. Maybe that's a good thing. If everybody, I'm sure everybody knows, if you go on your home screen, again, I'm talking about the website. I don't know about the phone app, but the website on the right side of the Seller Hub, I'm trying to do it from memory. On the right side, it just says Seller Help, something to that effect. You click on that and you get presented with a series of options. Well, what I wanted to do was I had a negative feedback, everybody. Jiminy Flip It does not get negative feedback. I've had this account for the account that I have now, the store, excuse me, with eBay for a little over 5 years. In April, it was 5 years old. So it's not super old, but it's not new either. And I had my first negative in 5 years. And I was livid. And it was on a print ad, which, again, is something I say I never get. That's one of the great things about doing this stuff, right? You never get negative. Long story short, The negative was this. It was a guy, so I could say this guy. I don't remember where he's from, but it was an international shipment, just a regular run-of-the-mill print ad, shipped perfectly, the usual stuff. And the verbiage that the guy chose to use in his negative comment portion was really nasty, like for no reason. So anyway, so I went right back immediately. I'm so sorry. They never said what was wrong, what he was upset about, nothing. Just use some really negative statements. I'm going to show everybody. I blocked out the name. I shouldn't. I should probably expose them, but I'm not going to do that. Anyway, we'll get back to that. Let me catch up. Otherwise I'll fall 5 hours behind again. Anyone else selling slower shells? I've had one of my best days in a while, Kelly. So no. As Dawn said, the spigot got turned on. You know how that goes in rotation. It'll make its way to you, Kelly. I actually had a really good day. You have one right now. Oh, see, that's not cool, World Squirrel. But I'll show everybody. Yeah, no negative. I mean, again, I'm not saying to be unrealistic. I'm just saying everybody seems to harp on the negative stuff. I know it's, sexy and sells and people are intrigued for some stupid reason by negativity and all that stuff. But I just like to point out when things go well. That's all. I'm not trying to be all, Disney about it or anything like that. Like, oh, life is great and all that stuff. It is. But you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be completely opposite. I just want to point out when things do go well. That's all. Hey, Dreamy Buys, how you doing? So, Roll Scroll, I want to hear about yours, but I would like to just, what I'll do is I'll show everybody. I took a screenshot of the back and forth. Dawn, you just listed 25 letters from US Air. I had a brand new subscriber this morning who was, he wrote a comment on one of the videos, one of my recent videos, and then he sent me an Instagram thing because I had said, hey, want to send me some pictures. He purchased, hopefully he'll be on tonight. I'm not going to say the name until he comes on, if he comes on, but he picked up 120 Life magazines, all from the 40s, I think he said, in the early 50s. So I was like, first of all, you picked a great decade. And he was sending me some pictures and wanted some feedback. I invited him to the show tonight, just to say hi to everybody. And then I said, tune in on Fridays. We do live listing shows. He's brand new to this genre. So like I said, if he comes in, hopefully everybody give him a nice warm welcome. I'll introduce him if he comes in. I invited him. Again, we'll get back to my thing. I don't want to lose track, but I don't want to fall an hour behind. You had one sale today, but today was the first time you listened to anything since Thursday. Yeah, there seems to be a parallel for sure. Yeah, that's very frustrating. Agree to buy. How do you mean? Agree to buy. You mean they actually put I was going to say a trade. I used to be a mutual fund trader, everybody. They put they put through a actual purchase and it's just not being paid. Is that what you're saying? I'd flip that. Hey, Allie, how you doing? Welcome. They say you could have a legitimate basis. You could have negative feedback removed. Correct. And I don't want to give away the whole story, but basically they removed it in 10 minutes, which that's really what it comes down to. But I want to show everybody the gory details because I was very impressed by eBay. I really was. I'm thankful. And I actually wrote them back. And, you ever get, if you reach out to eBay customer support, be it online or phone, you'll get that little canned email, how do we do kind of thing. And I took the time. I never usually do, but I took the time to really, to give the 5-star thing. I went into some detail about how appreciative I was because I think we all know how important feedback can be. You're probably on the bad server. Yeah, exactly. They turn the switch on and off, Dreamy Buys. If you have pending Windows 11, don't run it. Forget Windows 11. I can't stand it. Cool. That's good advice, though. I don't like it. They took away so much functionality from 10. They just won't pay. Sorry about that. That's not cool. Let me show you, guys. I'm going to show you the screenshot. I pulled it up. Like I said, I blocked out the gentleman's name. But I do want to show you that you can win this stuff. Well, anyway, again, look at first of all, look at the date, July 8th. So it's over 2.5 months since this transaction. Right up there, 1923 Westinghouse toaster print ad, I mean, you'll talk about a typical thing that I send out, every day for years and years. Never had a problem. Literally my first feedback on this account in over 5 years. So anyway, when you go in and you do a request, you get this kind of immediate response, that we're going to take a look at it. You have a ticket number or something to the fact, right? And we'll take a look and we'll advise you. So let me scroll down on the screenshot. All right, so that's the item, that's the ID, that's the date sold. So this is all, again, canned stuff. And then it says request details, right? Here's what this gentleman wrote, and it might be too big. You see what it says feedback comment? Look what the guy writes. A complete ripoff, RIP, capitalized. And here's the nasty part. A criminal offense. No returns for a piece of paper. If eBay allows this kind of behavior, I will be shopping somewhere else. Well, you go do that, buddy. Anyway, so I put in, they give you a couple of selections, and I put profane and inappropriate. It wasn't profane. It was inarticulate, but it wasn't profane, and it was definitely inappropriate. A criminal offense, no returns for a piece of paper. First of all, I offer free returns for 60 days, I might add, on my stuff. And then this is what I wrote, where it says additional info. Please have this negative feedback removed. And I'm inarticulate as well because I wrote form instead of from, but that's just a typo. My seller account, the buyer made no attempt to contact me, which is true. Never once reached out to me and said, this was ripped, whatever his issue is. I reached out to them in the message asking how I could help out in any way and received no response back. And again, eBay, as I'm sure everybody knows, can look at all the transactions and the messaging going back and forth. So it's very easy for them to validate what you're stating. I have no idea whatsoever why they were not happy with this purchase of a vintage print ad. Their line of a criminal offense is completely offensive and inappropriate. True. I have a seller record, also true. No reason for feedback of this nature. Please feel free to contact me, blah, blah, blah. And I put my phone number, which I blotted out. So that's really it, right? I hit submit. 10 minutes later, 10 minutes later, bam, the negative just disappeared. It's funny, when you go into the status thing, it still says pending, but I think it pens for like 24 hours is what they said. But it was definitely, it was removed almost instantaneously. And I think, again, because the guy said, a criminal offense. Are you kidding me? So what's frustrating from my vantage point is I have no idea what the guy was upset about. Like, none. I have literally no idea what was wrong, if anything, which I'm sure nothing was wrong, other than potentially if something with the mail system, if something went wrong, that's different. But again, if he had just said, it arrived in lousy shape or whatever, but I guess I'll never know, because of course I promptly blocked him right after that. But I was really excited and proud of eBay for handling it so quickly. Like I was excited because I was a little nervous about doing it. I don't have any experience with negative feedbacks, and I did 2 seconds of research. Yeah, this is how you do it. You go to seller help, and man, I was very, very impressed. So then when that email came an hour later, how did we do? I gave rave reviews to eBay. So bravo, eBay. The good guys win one. Law of averages says I'll probably get screwed down the line at some point by something, but at least for tonight, the good guys win. I'm really happy. And I'm pretty sure, again, I don't really have experience with negative feedback, but I'd be willing to bet, and you guys can validate this or say I'm nuts. I would imagine if you have a negative, at least 1 or 2, whatever, it probably, if you're less than 100%, I would imagine that they probably throttle down your visibility slightly on your stuff just as a whole because you're less than 100. I don't know that for sure, but that was one of my biggest fears, And even with the, I had enough feedback, thank goodness. It was like I went from 100 to 99.5, but still, when you're used to seeing 100, I was like 99. What? So anyway, hope that helped some people. Maybe potentially, don't be afraid to go ahead and, especially if you're in the right, as they say. They really did. They really did act promptly and took care of it. Like I said, 10 minutes later. So really pumped up. Sorry, off topic. I'm new, so forgive me. What role is yours? Oh, John Lennon and Beatlemania. Thank you, Glitterwish. Yeah, that's what I do. Hey, Tommy, how you doing? If they don't reach out to you before leaving negative feedback and you offer returns, either message by off return. If they don't respond, guarantee removal, or just call 90%. Yeah, it was really cut and dry. They didn't answer. So yeah, there you go. You saw that feedback. It made no sense. Yeah, I was like, what the heck is that about? So anyway, good news is, like I said, it's gone. Every time Windows has come out with an update since 3.1, the update is faulty. Yeah. It's much more stable for sure, Steven. Definitely 10. Criminal offense. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's some harsh terminology. Come on, people. I'm not a wimp at all. I'll believe me. But it just really rubbed me the wrong way. And kind of like what Tommy said, like if they don't have the guts to tell you what's wrong or whatever, bye-bye. So I'm very excited that eBay instantly sided with me. They probably look for some keywords in the commentary based, if the person puts a negative in and then they have that free field where they can put commentary. And if I guess I just chose the proper category, the proper tick box or whatever that said, offensive or whatever, the inappropriate. It definitely applied in this one. Tommy had one last week. The lady was hostile. You didn't ship her shoes on Labor Day. Yeah, I remember you said that. Where did you say that on my show or somebody else's? Unbelievable. Yeah. I remember reading that comment. I don't remember if it was on my show or if I was watching somebody else and you said the same thing. But that's just pathetic. Did they remove it promptly? I would imagine, Tommy. Allie, did you think it was the actual? That's what we always talk about, don't we, Allie? Yeah. It's happened one other time. I didn't get a negative, but I got a comment. Please, it was for a typewriter advertisement. I've probably mentioned this 100 times over the last 6 months, but like Ali said, I was selling print ads, obviously, and I sold a print ad for an old typewriter from like the turn of the century, and somebody bought it and they paid, and then I got an email like, I don't know, 10 minutes later that said, please cancel this transaction. I was under the impression this was a real typewriter. This is so misleading, which is why during the listing shows, you'll see me once in a blue moon when we get a typewriter ad. I'll think long and hard before I put it in a typewriter category. But that one didn't result in a negative. And I have no idea, Allie. I have no idea what the guy's problem was. He never said. He just said it's a criminal offense. Shipping him his $15 print ad is a criminal offense, everybody. So anyway, I'm really glad that it was pulled right down. You rarely update anything. I guess you're talking about Windows, right? Hey, Swamp Picker. Good to see you, man. Me too. Thank you, Dawn. eBay reps are amazing. If you know the policies, they generally always out. Yeah, that's good to know, man. Seriously, because again, they get a negative rap, and I have dealt with customer service, and this isn't just eBay. This is everybody. Let's be honest. A lot of times, it's tough talking with some of these people. They're just reading from scripts half the time, and they literally have canned responses that they use, and drives me nuts. But anyway, this was really cool. Maybe the fact that I didn't have to speak to anybody was actually better. It was so cut and dry. Here's your evidence. Here's what they wrote. Here's what I did. Case solved. So it was really quick. Very, very proud of them. Very happy. That's true, Kelly. Nobody reads anything. Just put good pictures up. You'll sell. Yeah, me too, Allie. Thank you very much. I'm very excited it was removed. I would have been livid. We got to hear from Royal Squirrel because apparently she didn't have such a good experience. So, Chris, if you're still there, let us know what happened in your scenario. They don't know their own policies. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Sometimes if you call, you're going to get the runaround, and you're right. Half of them, they don't communicate well with each other, I guess. And like I said, they're probably just reading a script of the most common call reasons, and here's what you say. Drives me nuts. You didn't type that. Okay, then we won't put it up. Jimmy, you can retract if you want. I got it. Okay, cool. Don't worry, I didn't put it up. Hey, Sarah, how you doing? Another eBay good mention. Whoa. Really? They fixed the capitalization disappearing once you click on search. I had to do a workaround for a while. Glad they fixed it. Capitalization disappearing when you click on search. I am not familiar with that glitch, but I'm glad to see it's been resolved before it wreaked havoc in my life. Yeah, you wanted to message us so bad until it took 3 times as long for her to leave the feedback as it did for me to remove it. Yeah, exactly. Right. They probably put all this effort into writing this nasty garbage, Exactly. Feedback says this poor packaging arrived in good shape, though. Yeah. Are all Mad Magazine's big money, and should you expect to pay $20 in a thrift store? I would virtually guarantee absolutely not. $20 plus per issue? No way. I'm sure there are people that collect Mad Magazines, but they're really, really, there's a lot in circulation. My wife had a subscription to Mad Magazine for years, so we have a ton of them back there. I haven't even looked at them. It's sacrilege, though. There's no way we're selling or cutting up any of our Mad Magazines. That's not happening. Let me just tell you. There you go. No, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't even know if they have ads. I can't tell you if I've ever actually opened a Mad Magazine in my life. I've seen covers forever, and I think when I was a kid, I used to look at some of them. I don't remember if they have ads. Aren't they all goofy ads, like phony ads? Or satirical ads, I guess. Stephen, not all customers who buy from us are cognitive human beings. This is correct, Stephen. Well said. If you ever have the chance to get concierge, they call it merchant support. Oh, really? Yeah, I've heard people talk about that. It's well worth it. Almost zero wait time, 100% American rep. That's always a good thing. Nice. So that's still an option. I thought since they kind of scaled down their whole service thing with the virus nonsense that maybe that wasn't an option anymore on that level of store. But that's good to know. You have to be anchor store, is that right, Tommy, to get that concierge? Sandy, how you doing? Sandy, ready, steady sells. Just got items similar. Oh, items smaller than expected. I guess you can't read the tape measure that was in the picture. I know. You can't make the stuff up. Did you get a negative, Sandy, or did you just get a return or something? That's another thing before I jinx I might as well jinx myself again, because I did shout out, I don't know, a month or two ago, I never get negative, and of course I get one. I never get returns. I mean, I really can't think of the last time I've had a return. And I don't just do print ads, so everybody knows. You know, I have lots of other stuff, and knock on wood, I don't get returns either. But I don't do a lot of clothing, and I know obviously there's a high rate of returns in clothing. You opened a list last night, but this Windows update stalled your program, so you'll just sit here and wait for the... Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Any hour now. What's up, Root? Magazine with the comic books and the stickers are the best issues. Well, there you go. There's a bolo from Rootin' for relics. Welcome aboard. It's been forever since you opened a Mad. Yeah, I can't tell you. I mean, it's funny because I told you my wife has a big collection, and her covers are covered. Like, the magazine is the magazine. It has like a white sheet of paper on the cover of each one. And I think it says like the subscription number or something. So most of hers too, she just kind of collected them and she just throws them in a box. So we have a tub full of Mad magazines from long before we were married. She's been collecting since she's like a teenager. Kelly, you have 0 issues with Windows 11, yeah? Sarah says we've had that happened a few times as well. The last time really got me because I actually had the first picture with a ruler. Yeah, literally with a ruler in there, right? So there's really no arguing, right? She gave you a positive. Oh, I gave you a positive, but in the comment it says something like that, smaller than expected. Yeah, that's like a half-hearted thing, right? But let's just hope people don't read and all they see is the positive, right? They won't read the comment. Cheshire Computer, you thought a few years ago, get a new one. They need to get rid of. Yeah, I'm not a fan of 11. I'm sure they'll revamp it like they did with 8. Remember how bad 8 was? It was a train wreck when it came out. You had to return for the same reason. That's odd. Stated all dimensions in the description. The reason was there's nothing to it. It's like something I could get in any store. Bavarian porcelain. Yeah, they have them in the aisles in Walmart, I'm sure. The Bavarian. Excuse me, where do you keep your Bavarian porcelain? Right next to the dog chow. Yeah, it's crazy. So isn't that cool, guys? I was proud to show everybody. You know, I have to be honest. I was anticipating a long wait because they give you like when you submit it, it says whatever. We'll get back to you within. Actually, it was reasonable. I think it said within 8 hours they would get back to you, which I would have been honestly pretty happy with especially if it resulted in what it resulted in. But when I tell you 10 minutes, maybe not even 10 minutes, which is crazy. So it was very cut and dry. And I like this. I like the fact that you can do it online like that and just copy and paste if you need to. Or again, they have all the specifics, right? They have the item number. They have the transaction details. They see messaging going back and forth between us, which is why you really need to bite your tongue sometimes, as tempting as it is to write you when you get something like that. Don't do it because eBay will see that and you'll lose. You know, you got to kind of play it cool. You know, I seriously did. I wrote the guy like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Even though I don't know what I'm sorry about, but I'm like, you know, is there anything I could do to make this up? Would you please let me give me some details? What went wrong? How can I help? Blah blah blah. Nothing. So out he is, and like Tommy said, he spent more time crafting his inarticulate comment than it took them to put my account back in its proper standing. Some people can't help but add a little dig in their feedback. Yeah. Exactly. It's a shame. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're pretty new at that in the store as well. Do you have a store, Glitterwitch, or you just list things on an eBay account? From what I hear, Tommy is a shoe guru. If you update it with all the newest updates and update all the drivers and optional software, it should be fine. It runs my Posh bot, does my streaming and eBay with no problems. That's cool. Very good. Yeah, I guess so. It's another one of those hurdles you got to cross. But it really is. It's seriously my first one. Again, this one is only, I started in April of 17, my current store. So it just passed 5 years in April. That was the first time I had a store, but I was selling on eBay since the beginning of eBay, like a lot of other people talk about on eBay since it was eBay. Same with me, but never to this level until 5 years ago, just sporadically throw something up for fun sort of thing. Never really took it very seriously. So I don't remember if I got negatives prior to that. I doubt it. I mean, I don't remember anything. You had a neutral for a tumbler set that retails for $60. Okay. You sold it for 15 free priority mail shipping. Yeah, because they don't read again, Kelly. That's all. All right, Jake, we have another name for a name. Is that, I'd flip that as Jake. I'm going to try to piece this stuff together, everybody. Dawn, again, always revealing all your secret identities, for better or worse. If anybody doesn't want them to be called their name and just want to use your eBay, YouTube name, that's fine with me. Just let me know. Only about a third. Yeah, that's fair. If that, right? That number seems to be dropping even. From what agreed, people don't leave feedback. Yeah. You focus on shoes. Okay. You don't sell 10 to 20 a day. Yeah, that's nothing, right? That's amazing work, man. You really do 10 to 20 shoes a day, pairs of shoes a day. Amen. Much better than clothes. Clothes have such a bad knock. I know a lot of people make a great living selling clothing, and it has nothing to do with their choice or anything like that. I just think it's a lot of, kind of what Tom says, it's a lot of work for the return that you get. And then you do run that extremely high risk of getting returns and people borrowing clothes for an event and returning them and making accusations that aren't true. And then you always hear the counterpoint to that as well. That's the cost of doing business. That's a lousy cost, though. And it's almost chronic. I don't enjoy that personally. Jake is your husband. Oh, okay. There you go. Jake is rooting. Sorry. I told you about the radio surveys. Yes. 45. Yes. There are 7 I listed. And they all sold the same person. Get out. That's so cool. Congratulations, Jake. That's awesome. Glitter Witch is talking with someone about looking for a location to have a physical store. Oh, wow. That's cool. But in the meantime, you're starting up eBay for the better items. Awesome. All the best in the world to you, Glitter Witch. Great to have you as part of our little community here. The lady that wanted to return a trinket box never responded to me after your message about how shipping would be. Oh, that's good. You scared them with the fact that they had to pay shipping. A little less than half of the sales for you. You love clothes. That's cool. You still buy a ton, but lost very little. What do you mean by lost very little? Hold on. My camera's not focusing properly. Hold on. Focus. There you go. That's a little better. You lost very little? I'm going to show you what you mean by that. I just didn't realize their names. I've been calling rootin' since the dawn of time. Screw clothes. No, see, I don't mean that. Again, I really don't. People do very well with both of those things, clearly. It's one of those things, if it's for you or not for you. I don't like comics, personally. I'm not into comic books, per se. That doesn't mean I wouldn't mind selling them if I had a big old stack of them, and I'd try to learn as quickly as I can. It's just not my thing. So same thing with clothes. We, like most people, I would think, that start, maybe short of somebody like Glitter Witch, but when I first started the newer store that came out in 17, it was my wife's old clothes, like stuff that she wanted to get rid of. It was just to establish some, get some sales under, on the account, get some sales, get some decent feedback and stuff. So we did some clothes to kickstart the store, but it is very labor intensive anyway. That was my feeling. It was very labor intensive. And I even bought a mannequin and all that stuff. And I created templates for the clothing with bolds, like, size, shape, color, blah, blah, all the details that usually people would ask about. But like everybody said, nobody really reads that nonsense. So it was kind of busy work for me, and having to take 10 photos or 12 photos of every piece of clothing was a frustrating thing. You shopping for clothes, Asia? Listen, cool. Good luck. Jimmy's been keeping track of feedback for 24 years, and your average is about 34%. There you go. So you're right at that third mark. Sarah says, yep, we watch on Roku. Oh, cool. on our double recliner. Nice. Picks us up, so we use the chat. So we have the show on Roku, and then each one of us with our PCs chatting. Cool. That is awesome. Kicking back, relaxing, a little Roku. Yeah, I think that's I like when people provide actual numbers, and there you go. Steven, 34%. Sounds a lot like a third. Kelly says, John is doing a blowout tonight. You're broke. I picked up, but we're going to get to the whole postcard segment of the show, clearly, which Kelly, again, being a trooper, helped me out this morning on Instagram. I was asking him some questions about postcards, and he's quick to respond. Greatly appreciated, Kelly. But I picked up from John I had it written down a couple nights ago. Friday, I guess, before I went on my show. Was it Friday? Friday, Saturday, he had a show on. And I got 3 lots from John. So I'm up. I have another 150. I'm waiting for them to arrive. I'm really excited to grab them and scan them and list them and do some more research. Ow. So I just banged my elbow. That hurt a lot. But I'll carry on. The show must go on. Sorry you have YouTube going on your TV. Remember a couple of shows ago, we did a little poll about what device do you watch the show on? I thought it was really interesting to find. It was so varied. It's hard to believe I'm like popped up on Roku and all that other stuff. It's kind of cool. Books and postcards, 1% or less returns. Yeah, I mean, that's honestly, again, knock on wood, but that's pretty much my experience. I cannot remember. I'm sure I have had returns, but I can't think of the last one. I really can't. It's been many, many months. Dawn is still avoiding what? You can't avoid it forever. You're going to do really well on whatnot. Serious as a heart attack, Dawn. I think you'd be great at it. Yeah, the measurement thing is a turn off for me personally. Doesn't mean some other people might really like it. If it's made of cloth, you don't want to list it. Okay. CJ, explain the little icon thing. What is that? It almost looks like Walter Matthau with a hat on. That's what I'm saying. Anybody else see that? You still have to measure your breakables, but it's 10 times easier than clothing. You won't get as many returns. I mean, I agree with Jimmy Buys. We're talking in generalities. We're not saying that it's, gospel, that you will never get a return if you do postcards, or you will never, not always true. But hey, not nostalgia, excuse me. Not sure if it's vintage. Well, how you doing? I outbid you at Popeye's auction. I'm sorry. I was out to buy. I told Kelly. We talked back and forth a little bit. I'm like, I'm here tonight to buy some lots. He had a lot though, Jim. Did you win some? I hope. Did you get to pick up a few? How many did he wind up selling that night? I can't even imagine. It's almost like going to Vegas and setting a lot of people fall prey to that, right? You can't stop whatever you're playing. Even if you win, you wind up giving it all back to the house. Well, I went in there, I wrote it on paper and said, I am buying 3 lots tonight. That's it. Whatever they cost, I don't care what they cost. I mean, of course I care, but as long as I get 3 lots of 50, because I saw he was doing 50 at a time, 50 cards at a time out of a box. I'm like, I want to get 150 new cards tonight. And that's what I did. After the third one, good night, and I closed it. It wound up, I can tell you, it wound up costing like $100, so, which is a lot. I mean, that's inclusive of shipping and everything. But still, what's my net cost, Kelly? Whatever, 70 cents a card, 76 cents a card, I think it wound up being, which I'm good with. Again, for me, it's really it's a learning thing. I'm trying to learn it and get into it. I continue to have a moderate level of success with cards, and I'm excited about it. And then I picked up from, what was the other one I picked up? About a week ago. They just arrived yesterday, and I scanned them immediately. It was just 4 RPPCs from Luke Bestiques, who was also on Paperpalooza. Picked up a little collection of 4 real photos. Here's the only one I haven't scanned yet. It's a nice image. It's black and white. They're all real photos. I banged out the old jeweler's loop, confirmed. Even though he said they were, and I trust him, I still wanted to, just for myself, get used to checking them all. And they were really cool. Just a selection of 4. They arrived, like I said, I think it was yesterday. So I scanned 3 of the 4. Or excuse me, I listed 3 of the 4. This one it looks really generic. It's like, and I can't see everybody as we know, so hold on. Brand new reading glasses. I'm at 2.5 at this point. That's scary. It's a German card with Das Alps or Die Alps. Like I said, pretty generic, I'm sure. Does anybody know? Here we go, postcard people. As you pour into the room, I'm sure at some point. Well, Kelly's here right now representing the postcard community. Do you see the stamp there, Kelly, or is it still blurry? probably blurry. I'm trying to make out. There we go. See das whatever this is. I'm assuming that's. I can't tell if it's 54 or 34. 930 54, 930 34, whatever. I don't know what the 17 represents, but it's just a nice image of the Alps. Pretty standard. That was the most generic one. The other three were really interesting and unique, and one of them Kelly was helping me with for a bit. And I also posted a photo into that Facebook group I was telling everybody about with if you have any questions about real photo postcards and you can't identify where it's from or you need some more information, there's a great Facebook group, which Dawn will post a link to again for me probably. But good stuff. I mean, and again, I posted one of those 4 that I picked up from Luke. I couldn't read, of all things, I couldn't read what the lady wrote on the back, and we wound up identifying a town in Maine, state in which Kelly resides. I'm sure he's expressed that already, so I don't think I'm revealing any secret information. But anyway, really good stuff. It's a great community over there. Again, if you guys, let me refocus. Sorry. If you guys haven't checked it out, check it out over on the Facebook. Yeah, everybody's proudly proclaiming they don't get no returns, and we're all jinxing ourselves. Allie is relisting items for Whatnot tonight. Cool, because some of the listings disappear. That is not cool. Not cool at all, especially when you take all the time to build your inventory and take photos. That would make me quite upset. Quite upset. Kyle, just one. You picked up one. Okay. Are you a postcard guy, Jim? Do you fancy yourself a postcard guy? Are you just dabbling in it like I am and learning the ropes? That's where I am. I'm in the infant stage. Popeye said he's working on his master's, or he's almost ready to graduate with his master's. Where are you, Kelly? Are you in high school? Where are you in the hierarchy of postcard of wisdom? Thanks, Dawn. Yeah, Dawn just posted the link again for anybody who might want to check it out. That really cool Facebook. I have no affiliation. I'm just a member of that group. If you have any questions about photos, real photo postcards, you can't, like I said, you can't identify a location, or you need some clarification on anything about the card, you post it in there, and the people, again, today, within minutes, boom, I had like 4 responses. It looks like it says this. I'm like, fantastic. So I just basically use that information. Then I searched for what they provide on eBay, and it looks like I have a fairly unique card, which is cool. That's one of the advantages of some of those photo postcards, I would think. Some of them are one-offs or whatever. So, I still price conservatively just to get started with, but it's good to know, A lot of fun. Steven says the first few years you only sold anything made of paper. Now you sell everything that makes money. That's a good approach. You say you're avoiding Whatnot. It means I'm avoiding watching. Oh, I thought you meant for selling. Yeah, I know. You don't want to keep giving up your mortgage to Whatnot. I understand that. Jimmy buys, get the odd one in books, but most of the time they don't return. You've had one on postcards that decided he didn't want to return. You talked them out of a return? That's kind of good. Tommy says returns are minimal. Good. Also, they don't cost a dime. Plus, sell-through is 3x. So I sold to listed for me. So I don't even flinch at returns. And that becomes the infamous cost of doing business. But again, it's true. Like you go to a department store or whatever, that you get returns every day, right? So they factor all that in. As long as you're making good money, which I'm sure you are, then everybody wins. Get out. Who? Popeye's selling 6,000 cards tonight? Oy vey, as they say in the old country. I'm not doing it. What time is it start? Sarah says she sells all kinds of stuff. You enjoy the diversity and hunting for treasures. Indeed, me too. There's areas I like more than others, but yeah, if it's gonna flip in my name, and half the names on YouTube have flip in there, right? I'd flip that, and so many others. Yeah, if you're gonna make money on it, you're with Dawn avoiding because your wallet isn't as big as you all's. I don't know about that. Good stuff. You've got a life to pay for, indeed. German Chancellor Helmut Schmidt. I remember him. Looked like 54. All right, Bob. Thank you. I wasn't sure, but whatever. So it's not even that old. Nice image, though. Nice, sharp image. Hey, Barnumania, welcome. Cheers to you. You got worse eyesight than you. Do you really? Oh, man. It's only up close for me, Kelly. It's the old man thing. Anybody who's over, when did it hit me? Probably 45, 46, it hit me. I had eagle eye vision. I swear to you, I'm not joking. I never wore glasses in my life. When I used to go for eye exams, whatever, I had 2015, which was better than 2020. And I'll never forget when I was in, I don't know, 30 years old or something. I went, and one of the doctors was joking. He's like, "You have like a pilot eye, something like, what was he saying? Like, there's certain was it a fighter pilot? Maybe that's what he said. You have a fighter pilot eye." I'm like, "What does that mean?" He goes, "Oh, in order to be a fighter pilot, you have to have better than 2020." So I'm like, "Oh yeah," I was kind of proud of that. 45, 46, all of a sudden I struggled, like I continue to struggle, and it gets progressively worse with things close up. Like, I can't read anything. Like, this is just a piece of paper. If I'm right here, it's just all a blur. Now I see perfectly from about, I don't know, a foot or two out, and driving, thank God, I see everything clear as a bell like I've always seen, but up close, man, just can't do it. So you start going for those stupid little reading glasses when you're in Barnes & Noble. That's how it started with me. My wife and I used to go to Barnes & Noble once in a while to hang out with my girls a few years ago when they were younger, and I couldn't read anything. I'm like, what the heck's going on? And I kept progressively moving the book out further and further. My wife, who's been wearing glasses since she's 8 years old, says, "Honey, they have this thing called reading glasses." I'm like, "What? What are they?" So anyway, I'm up to, and they come in different strengths, and this is by far the worst I've ever had, 2.5. And I got to admit, it helps incredibly. So I don't know, Kelly, if you just have bad vision or your life or anything, but it's just a byproduct of growing a little bit older. You lose that close-up vision. It's awful. Very depressing, to be quite honest with you. It bothers me. It aggravates me. Conrad Adenauer. Okay? You have a buying addiction. There's no way you could do a long tail game you buy every day. Do you really? The thing is, do you sell a good portion of what you buy? That's all, it's not a hoard if you get rid of it. Nothing wrong with a buying addiction if you're flipping them, right? If you're sitting on them, that could be problematic. That's from a picture you got. CJ says, hold on. It's from a picture he got from his grandpa. He passed in 76. Oh, a minor hobo on a donkey with the caption, "To get on your feet, you must get on your ass." That's pretty cool. That's a cool story. Doesn't he look like Walter Matthau now, CJ? Take a look and think Walter Matthau. And suddenly your world will change. You're a dabbler, Jim? Yeah, me too. But I'm definitely intrigued by it. I dig it. I'd flip that says. So a few years ago, I love when people start off with so. A few years ago, I picked up probably 400 vintage postcards. Wow. For about $10, that's phenomenal. You sold them all for 120. You had no clue that individual or group postcards were good to sell. I'm brand new at this. I'd flip that. So that sounds like a phenomenal deal to me. I mean, 4 cents a card. Not bad, right? When you get made $120. So 10x your money, 11x, 12x your money. Individual or group postcards were good to sell. Yeah, I'm selling them again, and I'm an infant stage. I'm just selling one-offs. I'm not lotting up anything yet. But I really do enjoy, with the help of people like Kelly and others, and of course just your own research and that group that I referenced. It's kind of a challenge. It's a fun challenge to learn something brand new that you have no experience in, which is clearly something that's doing really well. It's a huge collectible. People love them for whatever reason. So I want to get in on it. It's something, all the things that everybody preaches about how wonderful they are about from a selling perspective, small form factor, easy to store, easy to list. All that stuff is extremely true. And it's really, it gets you pumped when you sell these things. I get pumped when I sell them. I can't believe they sell, So I'm real excited by it. It's cool to have something new to get into. I'm glad you waited till you finished your question. I was going to say I've been out of high school for a while. Oh, about your eyesight? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, it's a great return, Dawn. Postcard wise, we would say junior high. Okay, cool. That's not bad though. Yeah, Dawn says pre-K. I'd put myself firmly in pre-K. Nah. If I sell, I'll tell you what. What did I just picked up 150 from Popeye, right? After I have like 50 under my belt, I'll say I'm going to kindergarten. It starts at 8. No, it doesn't. Don't tell me this. Are you kidding me? In 10 minutes? I have a few hundred postcards for when you're in a wheelchair. Yeah, that's a great point too. There's some people that don't care and don't want to learn something new and everything. I like it. I was like primed and ready to learn something new. And so many of the people that come into my channel, Tommy, they're into postcards. So I kind of just got, almost because of them, I'm like, all right, let me just at least take a look at this stuff. And I got friendly with a bunch of people that sell postcards, and I like it. And again, there's a bit of a parallel between the print ads that I'm kind of known for so far and these postcards. There's a little bit of a parallel between them, so I like them. I'm gonna stick with them for a bit, and I'm extremely excited and motivated by the fact that of whatever the ratio was, 10 or 11, 10 to 15% of my initial listings sold like really quickly, like within a week or two. That's pretty cool. Probably in sneakers, you sell 80% of what you list immediately, but for me, that was a big deal. You've niched down to just sell everything. There you go. That's a way to niche down. Yeah. Bear category. There is Kyle. I've never had an eye exam. Get Bell's palsy. You got Bell's palsy 5 years ago? Oh no, you serious? Blind? There you go. Best category. I was gonna say, what's bear category? You're not in any danger of running out of stock anytime. Yeah, I know. Yeah, just get excited about what you already have in house, right? Hey, Puddings, how you doing? Who needs longer arms? I don't know what that means. Sarah says she wears bifocal reading glasses. Yes. And I tried that for a little bit, Sarah, and it just wasn't practical for me. You know, I had that. I actually had, and they were like really, really thin too, which was cool. Like, so I had them on like the tip of my nose, and yeah, I could see that. But I think part of the problem for me, actually, I have them. Do I have them here? Yeah, I do. They broke already, by the way. But these are the bifocal ones. They fold. You see these things? I don't know if you can make it out with the green screen, but it's just this little cheesy little pair that costs like $5, and they fold like this, like travel size. But I don't know. I guess because I'm not accustomed to having glasses on, other than sunglasses, or when I'm in my Beatles show, I wear glasses. It irritates my nose, irritates my ears, and all stuff. So I can't see wearing them every day. I just throw them on kind of as needed. So I have them here on my desk all the time now, and I have my brand new pair because, again, I'm often called upon to write something down or read something, and I can't see nothing. But I can see the screen perfectly. Thank God. Everything is blurry 6 inches in front of your face. That's like me. -4.5. You've worn glasses since middle school. Okay, so you just have a vision thing, and it's, what do they call that, Kelly? Again, I'm also in kindergarten when it comes to eye care. Is it farsighted when you can't see close up? Which makes no sense. I think it's like that. Presbyopia. There you go. Stephen with the official term. I do too. One of my really good friends growing up had Bell's palsy. He was literally paralyzed, and it didn't go away. You know, they said it would go away over a period of time. I mean, I guess it's a little bit better than it was initially, but he's never been back 100%. Hopefully, Jimmy buys. I hope it goes back for you. You have to use readers. Yeah, me too, man. Your wife has terrible vision. Refused to get her glasses. She would be gone. Yeah, that's true. Keep the illusion alive, right? CJ, your mother used to prop up the newspaper on one end of the couch and sit at the end. Exactly. It's crazy. I don't know why this happened, but again, when was the last time? Probably about a year ago, I guess. Yeah, last fall was my last eye appointment. And it's funny when you read the charts, the E, G, blah, whatever, the eye chart thing. I do really well because it's at a distance. But when they moved it close to me, blind as a bat, just a big blur. My wife, who's kind of like Kelly, has been wearing, even earlier, I think my wife was 7 or 8 when she first started wearing glasses. She's the complete opposite. She could see perfectly within a foot or whatever. And then beyond that, without her glasses, which she wears all the time, she can't see anything. So it's tough with her with driving, especially at nighttime. She has to wear glasses for sure. And it's just ironic to me that this girl that, blind as a bat, she fully admits she's blind as a bat. And I'm going to her to read stuff for me because I can't see it if I don't have my reading glasses. It drives me nuts. The Bell's palsy thing. That's scary, but what can you do? Keep on rambling. Yeah. Adapt. You type slow. Not as bad, but you're still there. Well, hopefully it'll work its way completely out. Oh, when you were a kid? You can't smile on the right side. Eye closes. Oof. It's almost like, is it a form of like a stroke, essentially? When people, when they have strokes, they always say they lose like a side of their face. What's the word? Droops. I don't really know what is Bell's palsy? Is it a virus that attacks or something? You used to think all your kids are blind. They could never find anything. That's funny. especially a garbage pail to throw the junk out, right? Your mom asked me how to tell her when we passed the sign for the exit. We drove past it, and she said, "What did I say? What did it say?" You said it was green. Well, at least you weren't colorblind. Oh man, that's tough. You have to sell what you like. Yeah, I mean, probably to get passionate about it, you do. Like I've said before, I mean, I agree with that as a general statement. However, if I came across something like, I'm going to use the comic book analogy once again. I don't necessarily care at all about comic books, but if somebody gave me, or if I had an opportunity to pick up this giant stash of comic books for a really good price, and because I know how hot they are, I would probably take a little time and try to research and get some listed. Doesn't mean I'd like them, but if they flip and make me a lot of money, I'd learn to like them a lot more. But I definitely agree, generally, that you have to sell what you like. It makes it a lot more enjoyable. You probably do better at it. You'll be more motivated to learn more about it and kick butt. So Tommy likes shoes, clearly, and clothing. No, I know. You're good. Dawn needs to get her eyes checked. But without glasses, you can only see about a foot in front of you. Oh, so you're the same way, Dawn? You can see okay close. You can't see distance? It's tough when you have to drive, I guess I'm grateful for the fact that if I have to have some sort of malady when it comes to my vision, it's just like within the first 12 inches, and I can still see exactly like I've always been able to see when I'm driving, because I do a lot of driving. Always have, always will, hopefully. You can always go the route of the librarian chain. Yeah, that's true. Chicks dig that. It's a good look. You feel naked if you don't wear glasses. That's funny. So you're so accustomed to it, right? That's how my wife is too. And she gets she would pick up contacts, but they kill her eyes. I mean, she tries to wear them for like more than a few hours. Her eyes are all bloodshot. It's awful. I'm like, just wear your glasses, honey. You look beautiful. And right on cue, don't mention his contacts. You did pushing glasses up your nose that weren't there. That's funny because you're so used to having them on, right? Bell's palsy ain't stish. Had a heart attack in 2017. I believe 4 stents. Not smiling doesn't bother me. Well, first of all, very sorry to hear about a heart attack. Not really sure what the rest. Retype that if I'm just, or maybe I'm just misreading it. Yeah, what's going on, Dreamy Buys? Come on. The sector of shoes you mainly concentrate on has a stupid, ridiculous sell-through rate. Well, there you go. Poshmark kills it for women, and eBay does well for both men and women. That's awesome. Yeah, very sorry to hear that. Steven says he doesn't feel bad at negative 2.5. You feel almost blind. Used to be 20. Yeah, same with me. Well, Steven, teenager. I mean, seriously, man, until I was like 45, I had that. I had no problems. Then it just hit. I say overnight. Obviously, it didn't hit overnight. But the first time I recognized that I was having a problem was when we were sitting in those bookstores. It was like 10 years ago. Sitting in a bookstore with my kids, and I couldn't read the books. I'm like, why is everything blurry? And I kept rubbing my eyes, thinking I must have had something in my eye, and it didn't get better. And like I said, after, I don't know, third or fourth time, my wife turned me on to the fact that there are these things called reading glasses. I'm like, really? I swear to God, I had no idea. They think it was a virus. Yeah, that's what pretty sure that's the same thing that happened to my buddy that had it. And this was probably like 25 years ago. He first was afflicted with that thing, and it was petrifying. He thought he had a stroke because it was so dramatic. Same thing, right side of his face. I hope it gets better, Dream Advisor. I really, really do. You've been wearing glasses since 4th grade. Wow. That's about the same as my wife, 3rd or 4th grade. There you go. Exactly. In the words of Monty Python, always look on the bright side of life, right, Dream Advisor? It's easy to learn like something that sells for a lot of money. You still want to do clothes. No, I don't blame you. You're just barely legal to drive without glasses. Wow, the great thing is being nearsighted. I've never needed readers. Thankful. Yeah, it's the opposite for you, huh? It's strange how it just happens out of nowhere, Oh, I got you. Oh, thank goodness. I thought he said he had a heart attack. Didn't he say he had a heart attack in 2017? That's why I was saying if you wouldn't mind rewriting that, or I'm just being an idiot and I can't read it. So I'm reading 5,000 comments, which is, I'm greatly appreciative that you're leaving 5,000. Please, if you don't mind, everybody, leave a thumbs up if you're enjoying the show tonight. It just helps the channel. Yes, Tommy thought the same thing. I think he was saying he had a heart attack, Dawn. In 2017, didn't he say I had a heart attack? I think I had a heart attack. It was between 38 and 40 for you, huh? All right, so not that different. Yeah, I was like maybe 45-ish, I think. It's about 10. I'm 55, so it was about 10 years ago. Your heart hates life? Oh, my God. What a harsh statement that is. You now need glasses for distance. Now, Tommy, did you have good vision and it's starting to go bad for you, but yours is for the short-sighted stuff? Again, I'm not an ophthalmologist. Don't claim to be one. But the thing that my guy told me was that it's pretty common for people of whatever mid 40s or so, or 50, or maybe 40, to have difficulty with close up over time. And I know there is, of course, the dreaded what is it called, LASIK is available, and supposedly it helps fix that. But like I'm sure a lot of other people, hold on, again, I think I'm having some issues with the stupid focus. Like a lot of other people, I'm very, very frightened of messing around with the eyes. God forbid they screw up. You're done. So, you know what I mean? Is it really that hard to go for $10 or whatever, pick up a pair of glasses every few months and suck it up? I've heard people with the halo thing. Supposedly you have this like halo vision forever or something. I don't know. He said he had a heart attack, which made the Bell's palsy seem not bad. Right. Okay. Right. Perspective, right? Putting things in perspective. That as bad as it wasn't a heart attack. I get that. Mostly for night vision. What Dawn said. Okay, cool. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate it. I'm very sorry about heart attack, but hopefully you're recovered fully from that. You had the stent and everything. That's a good thing. It's like a new lease on life, right? In a way, it's a godsend. Again, and it's sort of, I mean, some of this stuff just comes with time, right? You start to run into friends and stuff. Like there's certain hurdles when it comes to aging that, like when you hit certain ages, all of a sudden things become more frequent. And one of them in my age group is heart attacks. One of the guys in my band, a good friend of mine in my band, had two best friends of his from high school, and he's mid-50s too. Lost two friends of his to heart attacks, like in the last year or so. Just literally dropped dead, like no warning, nothing. And then there was one other of his friends whose life was kind of saved. He had a heart attack. They revived him. Thank God they brought him in. And he had like a 90%. This was a bodybuilder, really fit guy. Had a 90% blockage or something. And the same thing, they did the stint, they cleared it out. And it's literally like a new lease on life for him. Some people are lucky, quote unquote, and they get that little warning and they get it taken care of. And others, unfortunately, just drop, So it's awful. It's a dangerous age. If you guys have ever read, there's certain things like they say, if you make it to 50, you should make it to 65. If you make it to 65, you should make it to 85. It's amazing because like there's, statistics say that in your 50s, you're 80% higher to get heart attacks or whatever. In your 60s, your cancer rate goes up 20% if you smoked, which thank God I never smoked a day in my life, but it catches up with you, let's just say at that point. And if you pass that hurdle, then you're probably going to make it to 80. And if you make it to 80, salud. God bless. LASIK is for distance. Oh, okay. But if you get it, you will need readers. Yeah, forget that then. That defeats the whole purpose. I didn't realize that. Is that they're exclusively just for the long distance stuff? Okay. Yeah, I'll just suck it up. Like I said, $10 and put on a cheesy pair of glasses once in a while when I need them. You had two friends. My dad had LASIK and he loved it. So I'm not making, again, a blanket statement that, LASIK is a bad thing or something to be fearful of. It's just me personally. I was like, I'm petrified at the thought of something screwing up your eyes because there's no way back, You work for an ophthalmologist. Oh, wow. Eyes are fascinating? Oh, sure. I'm sure they are. You had to have stents. So you had a huge blockage too, huh? Well, again, thank God if you think about it, at least you got the warning, right? Unfortunately, there's people that just, no warning. Tommy demands to know how old you are because we're very frightened, Dreamy. So please put this guy at ease, will you? Me too. I can't deny I'm extremely curious. It doesn't seem to discriminate, though. There's a lot of people of any age. You could have, there was a kid. You ever look at, he was literally a kid. He was like 24-year-old, I can't remember what country he was from. He was from a foreign country. He was a soccer player or something. Dropped dead, like right on the field. 24 years old or something ridiculous from heart failure. It's like, my God. There's people like that if you don't get your heart checked with any kind of regularity, you have no idea that you even have a problem. There's people that are born with heart problems, never know it, live to, a certain age, and then just, I don't know. How have we gotten into this conversation, Dreamy? Bringing us down. No, I'm only kidding. You can get monovision, only LASIK for one eye, and then the other for reading. Yeah, so forget that too. Oh, there you go. 46, you feel every bit of your heart. Yeah, I know, right? That's right when I lost it, Tommy. When I lost my vision. Right around there, 45, 46, maybe 44. I don't remember exactly. But about 10 years ago for me, was when I remembered that suddenly I couldn't see anything close up. Your dad had double bypass. Oh, boy. He's doing okay, relatively speaking, I hope. And for all of you who came to enjoy some reselling content, I hope you're enjoying the health portion of our show. It's brought to you by Dawn Wright of Canada. So is Popeye on now? Is everybody going to leave and go watch Popeye? I hope not. Although I wish him all the luck in the world, like he needs it. Let me see. Is it 8 o'clock? Of course it is. You think he'd be upset if we broadcast his whatnot? Yeah, I'm not going to do that. It'd be kind of funny. We did that with Annie last week. But yeah, it looks like Popeye is on. I also noticed nobody dares go up against Popeye, especially in the postcard thing at the same time. It would be a foolhardy move, to say the least. Sorry, I don't want to miss. He's doing well. He lost 100 pounds. Wow, holy cow. Congratulations. That's fantastic. Popeye is on. He sounds a little nasally. Uh-oh. Are you multitasking here, Kelly? Listening to our chit-chat? While bidding, I'm sure Kelly will make some purchases. He can't resist either. He's building an arsenal of inventory, which is awesome. And you're eating now. Okay, Dawn, no problem. Adderall since 13. Your heart has to be struggling. I hate to sound so ignorant. What is Adderall? I've heard of it, but I have no idea what it is specifically. What is it used for? What is its benefit? Adderall. I know the name. Have no idea what it is. He won't care. Matt has done it before. No problem. Oh, he gave his age. Hold on. 45, man. And you had a heart attack when you were 40? They call them widowmakers. You ever hear that? It's kind of a archaic description, but it's pretty appropriate. Widowmaker heart attack, the ones that you just like, it doesn't matter how you word certain things. It's all the same. They put little sprinkles and icing on certain words to make them sound less intense, but widowmaker is pretty appropriate, where you literally just drop dead, no warning, no nothing, just done. And of course, when they do autopsies and stuff, it always turns out that, oh yeah, you had a 90% blockage and didn't know, and it's crazy. So I guess the public service portion of the show is here. Go get your heart checked, everybody. Ladies, go get your breasts checked. Men, go get your prostates checked. What else can we announce? It's really true. I mean, deadly serious. I'm not fooling around at all. Do these stupid things to hopefully prevent, tragedy for your family, because you won't know you're dead. Dreaming, crazy young. Kelly, get off, whatnot. He's not broke. You kidding me? Yes, you have a widescreen. You got 4 windows. Okay. And they're working with Windows 11, everything. You're pinning each one. Tommy said ADHD. Oh, okay. Got you, man. No problem. I've heard the term, but I didn't know what it was for. And does it affect your heart? Is there like a long-term side effect or something with heart damage? God forbid. I hope not. You already told him you weren't bidding. He said, no problem. All bread and butter cards. Oh, yeah? Okay, cool. Kelly, keep me posted, though, if there's something I need to jump in on. Check it. Absolutely, puddings. Again, we're just going to, because I'm the one that's speaking and you guys are writing, my wife's uncle, who was at the time was only like 42, dead of skin cancer, melanoma, had no idea. He was in the legend is, this was before I met her, but this was in 91, I think. he came out of the shower, as we do, and he was just toweling down or whatever. And his wife said, "What's that thing on your back?" And he goes, "What are you talking about?" Deadly location, back, something you don't see your own back, right? He said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "I don't know, there's like a mark on your back." They went to the doc. I mean, he was the picture of health. He was a very robust guy too. He was a hunter and all this stuff. Say what you want about that, but big guy, healthy as a horse, 42 years old, and goes to the doctor, and he had like stage 4 melanoma, done, dead, and like lost like 200 pounds. And it's very, very, very hard. I never met him, but I saw the pictures, and it's heartbreaking. And he was such a young guy. But as Pudding says, absolutely check your skin. If you're lucky enough to have a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, husband, wife, have them check you out, especially things like that. You can't see the back of your neck. You can't see your back personally. You could try to look in a mirror, but just have them. My wife is fanatical about that because of the experience with her uncle. She's always checking things, little marks on your body. And that's another thing. As you get older, these things just pop out all over you. So get them checked out. I agree 1,000,000% Puddings. A friend of yours is fighting breast cancer right now. Yes. Yeah. Is that they recommend, the doctors say at a certain age you should do this and this, and needless to say, if it runs in your family, this goes for anybody, any one of these things, the skin, the breast stuff, the prostate stuff. If you're foolish enough to smoke at some point in your life, lungs, all these things. I know there's certain age groups where you should begin, but God forbid, if you do have it in your family or history of any one of those conditions, obviously don't wait till 40 if you're 37 or whatever, like Dawn, but hopefully you don't have that in your family, Dawn. Oh, here we go. 25 card lots. Then he said he'll do. Did he say he was going to do? These are not Dave's cards. Oh, okay. Didn't he say the other night, Kelly, he was going to sell them by like the pound, like a 20-pound, just whatever they are, 20 pounds or something like that? I was intrigued by that. Like no exact number, just 20 pounds of postcards. That sounds like a hefty amount of postcards, man. I guess he's not doing that. I'm pretty sure I heard him say that. You used to force the children, and some of them were put on Adderall. Okay, sure. Yeah, isn't it weird? Like you see, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes like I hear expressions or words or whatever or medicines, and I've heard them a million times, but I really couldn't tell you what they're for. Like those long-winded commercials that were on TV, the people on a swing and stuff, and it's like if you have moderate to severe, and they make up just some acronym nobody's ever heard of, and then it says that everybody's smiling and picking daisies and stuff, and it says may cause death. All those kind of things. Adderall for me was in that bucket of like words I've heard, but I have no idea what the heck they are. Yeah, 35 card lots, 115, then 1.5 pounds. Okay, cool. Oh, man. Tempting, I know. Tempting. I'm definitely looking to build up a collection. You figure with these 150, I probably have about 300, maybe? 300. I'll do a count. I'm going to have to do a count instead of guesstimating all the time. I have 100 and... How many do I have listed? Let's check that out, shall we? I know I have over 100 listed. And I definitely have at least... Well, now I'm going to have 150 coming my way. I probably have at least 200 to list. So, yeah, maybe I'm probably right around 300. Maybe even a little more. I know. You guys are saying, wow, 300? I have 300... I had 300 in my first 5 minutes of getting into postcards. For me, it's a big deal, okay? I have 115 currently listed. So, yeah, I'm probably right. And I have 150 coming from Popeye. So, what's that? 265. And so I probably have like close to 350 at this point. So, it is building. The addiction is increasing, as predicted by everybody. Everybody said, uh-oh, he's getting into postcards. Is there anybody watching or listening right now who has zero interest in postcards? Who thinks, I'm content doing what I do. I don't want to learn anything else. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. You got, Tommy loves shoes, loves clothing. That's what he does. He makes great money. Why would Tommy get into postcards? I'm sure he has no desire whatsoever. And it makes sense. Different personalities, different experiences, different business models. No one's really right or wrong when it comes to that stuff. It is what works for you. What's working for me right now is Deer Park. That's good water. Remember the commercial? Deer Park, that's good water. So, yeah, the medical segment was brought to you tonight by Deer Park Spring Water. Need a sponsor. So how are you guys doing? Anybody else have any good? You could tell bad stories too. It's totally fine. Where is Kristen? She was going to tell me what happened with her negative feedback. You still listening, Kristen? Or did you bail because we started talking about LASIK and heart conditions and all that exciting stuff? I had a great experience today with eBay. For anybody who might have joined since the first few minutes, got my first and only negative feedback removed within 10 minutes of me putting through my request. I was excited about that. I wanted to share it with everybody. And Kristen, I saw way back in the chat at the beginning of the show, said that she did not have the same level of luck, that they didn't remove it. So I just wanted to try to, to ask her about her experience, what happened. If she's willing to share it, I'm sure she would be. Steven sells shoes and clothes also, but you love selling the postcards. Cool. Well, that's what Tommy was saying. It's easier to sell something you love, and that's definitely true. Kim says, with your print ads, how do you assign cost of goods sold, or do you cost averaging and just carve away from a total until you break even and then come? Yeah, pretty much the latter. Absolutely. I mean, I haven't had to buy anything new in a long time, magazine wise. And I'm the only one, until I say this, I'm the only one that I know of anyway, selling print ads on Whatnot for sure. So I'm adding, Kelly is getting quite a lot of my print ads. Kelly, and quite a lot of John's postcards. He's out there to buy. He's building a monster stash of inventory of stuff he likes or sees potential profit in, which is very bright. But yeah, all of my stuff, I would definitely say at this point, I'm about, what year is this? 22. I'm probably almost 3 years into that initial huge 650 Life magazine initial bulk purchase I made out in Pittsburgh. If you watch the video series, you'll see I talk about that in the onset of the video series. I mean, we spent nothing. We spent like whatever it was, $300 on 650 magazines. So, yeah. Sarah, between Jake and I, we cover everything. He likes postcards and ephemera, cool, and you're into crafting fabric. Beautiful. Needless to say, I don't know if I ever asked you, Sarah, do you guys also do Etsy? You would think, especially with your stuff, the crafting fabric stuff. Are you guys on Etsy? And do you do well on Etsy? Popeye has a Whatnot admin in chat. Really? People are expressing their frustration with them now having a trophy next to the highest bidder in their live. I haven't seen that. A trophy? Like an icon for a trophy? Get out of here. Is that brand new? I didn't see that. When was the last time I was on? Whenever John's last auction was, I was on. I don't want to pop in because then he's going to say hi and everything, which is cool. But then I'm going to wind up buying stuff. No more effing around, he says. That's hysterical, his little title. Is that a brand new feature, Kelly? You know what? Let me go into somebody else's chat. Somebody else's show that I don't care about. Or that I'm not looking to buy anything from. All right, hold on. Let me mute this just in case. Will Pat Benatar cranking? Sure. Let me see if anybody... I want to see if I can see what Kelly was saying about a trophy. All right, perfect. Look at this timing. 30 seconds on the clock. I want to see if I can see what he is talking about live and in action. Of course, the guy puts a record up. No bids. Unbelievable. He puts a record up and nobody buys. Oh, here we go. It says somebody is winning. Where would I see this little trophy? I don't see it on the page where it says they're winning, and I don't see it in the chat. Brand new update, huh? I don't see it right now. Maybe that's a phone thing? I don't know if you guys watch on your phone or computer. I only do the computer. I don't see any trophies. It says somebody just won, and I still don't see a trophy. Anyway, we'll check it out. Maybe it hasn't rolled out to me. Yeah, exactly. Why does the trophy matter? We still can't. We can still see who won a lot. Yeah, I don't get why people would be upset about it. Right. The proverbial, don't keep your eggs in one basket. Highest spender for each. Oh, highest spender. So it's not individually I thought it was like every auction it showed like who's the current high bidder. Sorry about that. Ali says, yup. You did Etsy and had one sale. Etsy was pushing us to do free shipping, and you jumped. Yeah, exactly. And I think you opt into that almost initially, right? When you set it up. I had the same problem, Sarah. I sold. My dad used to smoke, and he was a Marlboro guy, and I forgot what it was, but he had a really nice leather jacket. It was a free, quote unquote, from Marlboro for being part of whatever he signed up for, and we sold that on Etsy. So my first sale, I was all excited, and I can't give you the exact numbers because I don't recall, but let's say the jacket was like $150 or whatever. The net money in my account was like $70. I'm like, whoa, what happened? And it turns out I was opted into like whatever they call their promoted listings thing automatically. And I had to do free shipping automatically. So I had to learn how to opt out of that stuff. And I was really, really angry about that. Now I have it set up the way I want it. But of course, what happens? You get no sales. At least I don't. And I've talked about my Etsy store. It's a joke relative to my eBay stuff. But, if I sell 10 things a month on Etsy, I'm doing backflips. That's a good month for me. I don't even know why I keep it. I keep it with the hope that maybe I'll cultivate a little more down the line, but we'll see. Oh, Alice is just that new feature was just announced, right, Allie? It basically paints a target on your back so everyone knows who's spending the most. It also won't be on all because only iOS. Oh, so it's only the phone. Maybe that's why I don't say it. I'm just on the website. Your brain says one thing and you type that's okay. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Mark, by the way, great videos, man. Everybody go subscribe if you haven't done so already. SM Postcards, Mark in Chicagoland or thereabouts. Really interesting video content. I recently subscribed to him. We've known each other for a little while. He was on my show a month or two ago with the ephemera stuff, the Paperpalooza. And being that I'm new and trying to graduate to kindergarten level of postcard knowledge, I've been checking out his channel. He's got a lot of really good stuff. So thanks for coming in, Mark. I really do. I enjoy your channel a lot. You put a lot of work into your videos, which is appreciated. Yeah, it's true. Everybody wants to complain. Everybody does not deserve a trophy. iPhones, you don't have it. Okay. No, thank you, man. You do really good work. I like it. What was the one? Yes, I was talking with Kelly on Instagram about a topic about I'm trying to learn terminology, things like that within the postcard world. And something came. Was it not SQL? That's a QSL. And Kelly referred me to a page. He's like, "Oh, Mark just did a video about what those are." And sure enough, bam, there it was. You did it a couple weeks ago. I learned a lot from that. I was like, "Oh man!" And of course, I subscribed right away. And then I found myself getting lost in some of your videos. Really good stuff, man. You deserve you deserve a lot of subscribers too. A lot more than you have, like I do. No, I'm only kidding. You got to work. You got to earn subscribers, baby. But Mark, I think warrants a heck of a community. He's got a really good channel. Go check out Mark's channel for sure. As Dawn, I'm sure, is searching as we speak. She's probably yelling at the TV saying, I'm on it. But if you happen to have SM Postcards YouTube channel handy for me, Dawn, I'd really appreciate it if you could throw his link in there. Mark is good people. Yes, he does. And then I saw a video. It's kind of funny, like me with print ads. I don't just sell postcards. You had a video like that. It is true. You get labeled for better or worse with certain things because that's what and it's the person that's putting the material out. It's on their shoulders because if I'm putting out 90% of my materials around print ads, of course people are going to think that's all I do. And then I'm proud of that. I'm not upset by it anyway. But it is funny that Mark had a video recently. I saw he's like, I don't just sell postcards. And he had like a picture of a toy or something up. And Sarah threw the good luck, and I promised anybody who hits a thumbs up. So clearly Sarah and Jake left a thumbs up on their little laptops or desktops that they're sitting side by side with their feet up on the couch watching me. And good things happen to those who leave thumbs up for the Jiminy Flipper channel. See, there's a sale. You're guaranteed a sale within 24 hours of leaving that thumbs up. So everybody keep that in mind. Thank you very much, Dawn. I knew you'd jump on that. Dawn's the best. Seriously, everybody. Thank you, Dawn. So check out Mark for sure. Subscribe to him if you haven't subscribed. If you're foolish enough not to have subscribed yet, I suggest you get in. Yeah, Steven, did you check out his video? It's like a good level of detail. I had no idea what they were. And I think it came up in one of Popeye's auctions, actually. And I'm like, what does this term mean? So I was just writing. Kelly's great. Like we go back and forth, mostly me. Like he'll ask me some questions on print ads, and I asked way more questions on postcards recently. And again, I'm trying to get terminology, instilled in my brain with some of the stuff. I'm like, what is he talking about? QSL, what does that mean? And he said whatever it meant. He goes, check out Mark's video. I'm like, bam. YouTube is a wonderful place for good people. Drop from 24 to 20 to 15 to 10. If he drops to 1,000, you'll probably buy. What does he have, like this giant stash of them, Kelly? Apparently there's a notorious QSL seller, everybody. Yoon Stargirl. Hi, everyone. Listening while you listen. Welcome, Yoon Stargirl. How you doing? This is not technically a listing show on my side. We don't, you make your own rules kind of when you have your own channel. But tonight's more or less the chat show. Sometimes we'll sneak in some listings during a chat show, but more often, I don't know if you've listened for a while, Yoon Stargirl, but Friday night is pretty much dedicated to the listing show. But I'm glad to know that you're listening. You're inspired to list while listening. So thank you very much. Thanks for coming in. All right, Kelly says, Marty, there's a guy selling his eBay store of 24 or 25,000. Oh, he's selling the whole store. Wow. You said for 1,000 you'll go in? Wow. Is all the postcard people are watching it? Yeah, check it out. I don't know if you've subscribed yet, but I hope you have. If you haven't, please consider doing so. But thanks again for coming in, Yoon Stargirl. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Yoon or Yun? I think it's Yoon Stargirl. Yeah, every Friday night, usually 6 o'clock, we do live listing shows. If you check out some playlists or whatever on my channel, you'll see we've done a bunch, probably like 50 at this point, at least. Close to it. Maybe not quite 50. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. We usually do print ads because that's sort of my main niche, but we did recently do a little bit of postcard listing as well. I think we might have done some record listing, and that's my second biggest thing is records. I'm a big record guy. But yeah, I'd be delighted if you join us on Friday. It's a lot of fun. I basically pull up some scans of print ads, and we kind of go through the details of each one, and I solicit, advice from the people watching, for ideas like, oh, do you guys see that picture? What is that? What is this? It's a lot of fun, and we all learn a lot together. It's been an amazing experience these last. I started it in February, so we're like 7 months in. Well, welcome aboard. I'm really glad to have you. And if you know anybody in this chat, know Dawn Wright. Dawn Wright is your friend. Omnipresent Dawn. The Wonder Woman rubber duck. Yeah, you don't see many of those. Will do. I mean, if it takes me forever to list them, I'd probably sort by state and then bulk lot them off. He sells them in his store for $10 each. Only sells a handful of them. Okay. Oh, you did have. Okay, cool. Oh, very good. Yeah. Absolutely. Johnny, Cajun Roots Roast. We sell at 8:30 a.m. East Coast, Monday to Friday. Johnny is also a great guy. I've popped into his show a couple. I watch it almost every morning, or at least I have it similar to what you're doing now, actually. I usually have it in the background as I'm listing or getting my shipping together in the morning. It's nice to have, again, it kind of charges you up for the day, for the reselling day. But I'm glad to know that you're in there from Johnny. So thank you very much. Come on, Friday night. I'll be on this Friday. And if you're already subscribed, just please make sure to hit that notification bell. And then you'll see when I'm going live. And it's usually, tonight is a Tuesday night chat show, which is extremely atypical. I think it's the only one we've ever done on a Tuesday. But I also play in a traveling cast of Beatlemania. So I have a lot of shows, Beatles shows, concerts that I perform in. And last night was a show. So I had to postpone my chat show here on the channel till tonight. But I let everybody know about that on Friday's listing show. So hopefully it wasn't too much of a surprise that I wasn't on last night and that I am on tonight. But again, great to have you. So bookmark the channel, and I'll put up probably, what's today? Tuesday? I'll probably put up the listing for the the icon. What do you call it? The thumbnail. That's the word. Too many words. I'll put up the thumbnail for Friday's show tomorrow. You have a friend who has a ham radio. Those guys collect. Yeah, that's kind of what Mark was talking about in his video. Really interesting stuff. It's a product I had no idea even existed until just several days back. Oh, one other thing I definitely want to mention, everybody. is, and Popeye and Benny, if you guys know Ben, Nudie Provisions, really good guy. He was also on the show a month or so ago. I think we talked about this a while ago. I couldn't participate in the first one because I had a Beatles show. But going forward, until further notice, the second Saturday of every month, there's an event called Ephemerama. It's like 4 or 5 resellers selling ephemera, wouldn't you know it, over on Whatnot. And I'm going to be on this one coming up on October 8th, which is the second Saturday this coming month in October. 8 p.m. is my slot. I put the thing up on Whatnot for it. So go ahead if you're interested in it, go ahead and bookmark that. I'll also be on tomorrow night with my regular show at 6, doing lots of print ads, 6 o'clock tomorrow night. But Ephemerama takes place October 8th. I think, it's like 5 resellers. I'm in the 8 o'clock slot, so do go check that out and bookmark it. Don't miss out. Going to be some Halloween. It's not mandatory, but it was suggested to the group of participants that maybe we'll get some Halloween stuff in. So in my case, it would probably be Halloween-themed print ads, which there are many, many, many of. So it should be pretty simple for me to get some cool lots together for everybody. So check that out over on Whatnot. Ephemerama. Coming to you October 8th, 8 p.m. I did want to mention that. And of course, Popeye is the one who initially came up with that idea, and then Ben, Nudie Provisions, has been really hands-on, carrying out all the administrative stuff around these events, and he's done a great job. So this would actually be the Ephemerama 2. I missed the first one a couple weeks ago because, again, I had a show, unfortunately. But I'm very happy to be part of this upcoming one on October 8th. Should be a lot of fun. Swamp Picker says, how far do you go to perform? To the moon, Swamp Picker. Anywhere. We've played all over the country many times, and we've played in Canada. One of the funniest stories of a show, a huge, huge event that never happened that I was supposed to do, was back when India, the capital of India city was called Bombay. Now it's Mumbai. Well, it was Bombay forever. And back when we were going to go there, we were going to go to Bombay, India for a month. And this was in 2003. And we had a contract. It was supposed to be this really cool gig at we're going to be it's called a residency, where you play every night pretty much for a month. All expenses paid, hotel, all this stuff, flights to Bombay / Mumbai now, India. And wouldn't you know it, for those of you who might remember, it's not like it's ancient history. Much like the current situation with the virus, there was a good old thing called SARS, for those of you who might remember. And the SARS epidemic, pandemic, whatever you want to call it, hit India. So our entire trip was canceled. But prior to that, I could have said under my belt, we spent a month in India. So I was really upset about that. We never got to go. The SARS thing broke out. And then ironically, Dawn, right, we had a gig in Toronto. Dawn's going to say she was 15 then probably. But anyway, we had a gig in Toronto right around the same time. And that one, when we got to Canada, which was, it was a drive for us. We drove up to, I drove the band up to Canada, same year, 2003. And the SARS thing hit Canada and Toronto. And that was the first time I was shocked that there were people in Toronto wearing masks. And we're all like, what the heck is this? But we did that show. And then the U.S. put a travel ban on going to Toronto because of the SARS breakout. So anyway, long story short, Swamp Picker, that would have been my furthest travel for shows. But we play all over the country. But thanks for the question. Kelly's still talking about these interesting ham radio thing. Halloween sounds fun. Yeah, Halloween, always fun. Sells all year round, but we're coming up on a month before, so it's really time to double down on Halloween merchandise if you have any. Get it out, get it up there. Highly collected across many different genres is the Halloween stuff. Yes, I saw his video, Papergoy from $1 Million Peddlers. You're supposed to meet him in May. Oh, very cool. I would love to go to that. Springfield is in Ohio, correct? I saw the videos this morning. Actually, Ben, Nudie Provisions, is in the video as well. One of them anyway. I got to see him. He got to hang out with Papergoy, which is really cool. Looks like they both had a good time. So I would love to go out there and meet him. I drive all over the place, man. It would be nothing for me to drive there. You saw George Thorogood and Sammy Hagar. Were they on one bill? That's kind of an odd pairing. Yes, absolutely. New Orleans, many times. It's been a while, but yeah, we played New Orleans a lot. It's definitely swampy, hence the name Swamp Picket. Yeah, isn't that crazy? State of mind, baby. There he is. How you doing, Ben? New to provisions. Ben, what is going on? Thanks for coming on in. I had just, you must have been listening. You had to be listening. Or your ears were turning red. I was just talking about the upcoming Ephemerama on October 8th. Benny kicks it off, actually, don't you? He kicks it off at, I should have this thing. I don't have the flyer handy, but I can pull it up. What was it, 5 or 6 o'clock? Something like that. He kicks it off, I believe. But I will take a look to confirm. Let's get the specifics correct, shall we? Ephemerama. Yeah, Ben made a cool graphic. Yep, 5. Ben kicks it off at 5. Then Picnic Postcards, who I've heard of. I don't know the gentleman's name or woman's name. Is it 6? Mr. Buys-a-Lot, who we all know, who I got to meet. Really nice guy up in the Allentown, PA area. 7 p.m. I'm on at 8. Junkin, Montana, I am not familiar with, but I'm sure he's good at 9. And then Popeye, of course, closes it out at 10. So again, that's coming up on the 8th of October, Ephemerama 2. Over on Whatnot. Be there or be square. Restart number 4. Let's see if you can list something. Oh my God. 02 to 04. You were saying, yeah, that's hysterical. Unbelievable. Yeah, SARS, man. Awful. The first time we were screwed by a virus. A whole trip to Bombay. All expenses paid. I mean, that would have been really, really cool. Just such an exotic location for a Beatle. But I mean, of course, there's a huge Beatle connection with India. They spent a couple of months in India and they made the White Album. So I really would have loved to go. Apparently, it wasn't meant to be, unfortunately. It opened. It took that long. Oh, boy. Oh, and he met with Dave as well. There's a video with Dave and Don hanging out at the same place. Yeah, I'd love to go meet everybody. It was the same bill. Thorogood did a show, hour show. He was 90 minutes. Nice. Oh, that stinks. Was it really? I had a good one. I did mine just like a week ago. Was it the last one? It might have been last Wednesday, Ben. I'm sorry to hear that. But you know the deal, man. You just keep at it. Everybody that's on Whatnot or aspires to be on Whatnot, there's going to be a lot of those. You know, what he's calling a disaster might be a relative term, but it's happened to all of us. You go up there and your hopes are high, and you know the ratio, the percentage of items presented versus items sold can sometimes be very discouraging on Whatnot. Or even if you sell them, sometimes you get a lot less than you hoped as well. There aren't always those bidding wars, but I do promise you, and I'm sure Ben would agree, he's got a lot of experience on Whatnot. As does Dave Paperboy too. He's another perfect example of somebody that's stuck with it and he's doing well now. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Don't worry about it if they don't sell. So what? Put them up again. That's another thing I learned from Dave. He had the, what do you call it? He has a term for it, but basically, like, let's say you have 20 lots and your first 5 don't sell and your 6th and 7th start to sell, right? An hour into the show, odds are that the people that were there the first 10 minutes are probably gone. And there's a whole new crop of potential buyers out there. So there's nothing wrong with going back to those first 5 that might not have sold in your first 20 minutes or whatever and put them back up. That's what I love about Whatnot. There's no rules. I mean, there are rules, but things like that, you can really tailor the show to yourself and do whatever you like within the rules of civilized humans, of course. Kelly picked up a bunch of sheet music for me. You could have stopped. Yeah, that's what a great thing. I did when you stop bidding. Oh, did you have one of those trouble? Yeah, that's happened to quite a few people. May I ask, Kelly, without getting too personal, do you happen to have Wells Fargo as your bank? We do, and I've had that happen. Not on Whatnot, something else. Same thing. We made some. It was actually Amazon. We made some purchases on Amazon, and exactly, it was the same dollar amount multiple times, and we got like a text message that the following 3 transactions were blocked. We've noticed whatever they put on there. I was able to get it removed instantaneously just by saying yes, it was me. But yeah, I guess it's just a safety feature that a lot of these banks have in position now. Oh man, 118. Now, Kelly, in your experience, roughly how many cards would you say would weigh 1.5 pounds? 118. That's expensive. Relatively, there you go. Relatively disastrous. Exactly. But good for you, man. And again, trying different things. That's my approach too. I don't, even though I've done a lot of print ads, I have done records. I did a CD show, which is kind of unique, I guess. Not that many people doing CDs, music CDs. Excuse me. So good stuff. Mixing it up. It's like YouTube here. Got to build up an audience. Yeah, exactly. Build up an audience, grow. Yeah, and again, to me, the way that that's accomplished is by first and foremost having good stuff that people want to buy. But there's a lot to be said with the presentation. All things we've alluded to many times on the show, like being gracious, greeting everybody when they come in. Nice demeanor. Put up some nice items. In my case, have some cool music in the background. Set an atmosphere. Be pleasant. All those normal, common sense things, I think. Work meeting. Oh, yeah, Allie, sure. The dreaded work meeting. It's around $1 a card, huh? So you're saying 120-ish cards for a pound and a half? Man, that's not that much. So when you consider I got, I was telling you on Friday, I guess it was, whatever his last auction was, I picked up 3 lots of 50. So that's 150 cards. That's probably close to almost 2 pounds or so, pound and a half, 2 pounds. And I got less than $100. I'm happy. Sorry, John was loud. That was your question before. Number of cards in the lot. Yeah, just roughly, if you had an idea what a pound and a half of cards would represent as far as quantity. One long white box of postcards, approximately 10 pounds. Oh, okay, that's good to know, Mark. And what'd you say? That's like 800 cards or so, I think you said last time? You don't have a whatnot. You're on too many platforms. Just on YouTube, selling an online platform. Okay, very good. Yep. First lot was the FD Modern Fire Department. Is FD Fire Department? He says okay. He doesn't want dozens of the same card. Guarantee you still make a ton of money because he's not gonna. Again, we all know Popeye well in this group, and he's not putting up junk. So I'm sure you'll make a lot of money. It's a hefty investment, I guess. Again, considering you could probably get postcards a lot cheaper, but at least you know who you're getting them from and the reputation, all that, which is stellar. So sometimes a premium is worth it, but it's really market driven, right? Does he start him low? He's probably starting at $5 or $10 or whatever he starts him at. Oh, go check out Yoon Star Girl. Thank you, Dawn. Fire department. Okay, good. Just making sure. I thought it might have been some proprietary postcard jargon again. Long box 800. Yeah, that's what you're saying. Okay, cool. Right. You're doing Maine? Yeah, I listed a Maine card and asked Kelly about it, and he was gentleman enough to help me out with that. And we all know the dreaded, I keep saying dreaded tonight. Sorry about that. I don't mean to. We all know about eBay's, that enhancement they put through probably a year ago, close to it at this point, with the view count. Maybe it wasn't a year ago. Was it spring? The view count thing radically changed, right? So now at this point, I'm excited when I see a view on certain things. And I listed the 3 real photos this morning, and I have a view on one of them. I was like, wow, somebody's interested. My highest priced postcard to date. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want to embarrass myself. But if it sells, I'll tell you all about it. But I will tell you it's a real photo. Confirmed. First of all, the buyer that I bought it from, who I know, said it's a photo, so I believed him. And then I backed it up with the old jeweler's loop thing. No dots. Real photo. So I'm excited. The cards sell great at the antique malls. Oh, that's good to know. Your first buy in 2016 was 20,000. My God. Yeah, Kelly, 20,000. Half Maine cards. See, I didn't know that half of them were Maine cards. Bread and butter. And that's what John's doing tonight, you were saying, right? Bread and butter kind of stuff. Just touched on it. I haven't seen it yet, Ben, because I'm not using the mobile. Kelly mentioned it. So did Allie. And John was saying that people were getting a little antsy in his room tonight or something about that thing. I don't really know what it's about. Maybe it's just a mobile thing, but I don't see it on the website at all. I went into some auctions just to see if it popped up. I don't see any trophies or whatever they call them, but apparently it's a point of contention. There's a bit of advice from Kelly for free. The better main cards are the non-chrome ones, like the one I showed you this morning, right? 1900s, 1930s, yeah. I just dig that era in general, as everybody knows. Well, up to World War II with the print ads, but the postcards too. I definitely just gravitate towards the older ones for sure. Again, not to say that the chromes and all that other stuff there'd probably be a whole bunch that are worth a fortune, but I just gravitate visually to the older ones. They're more appealing to me. I hope so, Stephen, because I listed one this morning, my first and only. I had an admin in tonight and was bombarded with comments. The guy had no response. So it's a like right out of this is a brand new. Did everybody get an email about this enhancement? I don't remember seeing anything. Or it was just employed without telling anybody, which isn't really that cool. I would assume so. Mark says, Brimfield, you're paying up on cards. By the end of the days, it was on 10 cents. Sure. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Right. Very similar to a state sale thing, right? You go on Friday, you're going to pay a premium. You go on Sunday, they give you stuff for free or a very low price. That's interesting. What part of the great country are you from? Dreamy? Allie, and Allie, don't you live in Massachusetts? So it's probably not that far for you. Maine can fetch quite a bit because they are far and few between. Oh, cool. And yeah, again, I'm hoping, Kelly, that the one we talked about this morning, I think it meets all those criteria. It's old. It's a real photo. It's from Maine. It's from a kind of obscure place. So hopefully not the most exciting topic necessarily, but I think it's cool. I liked it. Really good condition. 10 boxes. Holy cow. It was announced in the Discord. Oh, okay. Surprised they didn't send out. Usually they'll send out enhancement emails to everybody, Ben. Like when they implemented that Zoom function, things like that. It's like coming soon, or they'll let you know when it's going to launch. I haven't found the book. Usually cherry pick 10 cards. Westfield. Okay, cool. Popeye's bulk lots are going at 50 cents a card gross. The higher the volume, the lower the cost. Right, of course. Have you picked up any, Kelly, or you're holding back? Good. Good. You probably mean deals. Good deals to find on the first day. Yeah, often, sure. Yeah, exactly. That's what you're hoping for. Or in my case, again, I'm into ephemera and magazines and paper and all kind of the same thing. Not always, but anyway. So my wife and I go towards that stuff, and that first, we usually it depends on, of course, the sale and what we've read about it or heard about it prior to going. That draws us to go there, but we'll run for things like that. And typically, most of the other people at these sales, at least the ones that we go to, don't head for paper items, which is good for us. They head for other things that they're interested in picking up. It leaves us with all the premium stuff that we want. Pennsylvania or something. It's funny you say that, Stephen. I live in Pennsylvania now. I'm not from Pennsylvania, clearly, but I live here, and it's true. I've come across tons of them, Pennsylvania. Now, John will tell you that there's certain places in Bucks County, which is a county in Pennsylvania, not too far from where I live. It's supposedly a bolo. If you see Bucks County stuff, it's like a suburb of Philadelphia. Allegedly a wealthy suburb. And some of the towns, yeah, that they are well-to-do. You're not bidding? Okay. Cool. But it must be tough, right? If you see something that, if somebody's sleeping, I'm sure it's tempting to sneak in there. Kelly, guys, last weekend wanted $2 for cars for the railroad depot. Couldn't do it. Free sales to buy, but for you to turn around and sell, there's nothing to make. Yeah. I hear you guys. I like Kelly giving the play-by-play of Popeye's whatnot auction. Because I know if I go in there, I'm going to wind up watching and I'm going to wind up hitting that buy button again. I bought 3. I was so satisfied with my 3 lots of 50 just the other day. I can't wait to this. I got the shipping email yesterday, I think, so I'll probably get them tomorrow. I hope. If things go according to form. Like last time I got, same thing. I bought like 3 or 4 lots now from Popeye prior to this last one. And he always ships them out really quickly. And I don't live very far from him, too, which is good for mailing. Yeah, Kelly's got to be dying. It's a main night. Oh. Yeah, man, you got to have the guts, the intestinal fortitude to just say no. Kelly the Cardcaster. 39 people in tonight. Bids up to 69 for the slot. Wow. Are they bidding foolishly? Are the prices being artificially inflated just by reputation alone? Yeah, go list something instead of watching. If you get stuff like that, we might want them to throw them something for a finder fee. You've picked up nicer lots for less than what Popeyes are going for. Oh, I'm sure it's possible, sure. Thing is, again, it's an auction environment that Popeye is thriving in. So his knowledge and his background and his uniqueness. Now, really, all those things that he has going from all the experience he has selling postcards and his eBay store that's been around for a long time bode well for him. So when people go in and becomes a auction marketplace, he's doing really, really well. And I'm sure a lot of the prices are way over more what, and he'd be the first to admit that, by the way, that people are spending more than they probably need to necessarily. But again, you get what you pay for, is the old adage, right? So you're going to get some good quality stuff. And to me, as long as you can make some money on it, it might be worth that premium to take a lot of the stress out of the equation. You're going to get good quality. It's going to be shipped promptly. You're not going to get a ripped bag. Some of the people, I've heard horror stories. I haven't experienced it, thank goodness, but I've heard a lot of people talk about, picking up items on whatnot and they arrive in really bad condition that people don't understand how to ship, all that kind of stuff. So you don't have to worry about any of that, obviously, if you're buying from people like that. Oh, he didn't say what? I think people's egos are definitely contributing. That's funny. Why would that ever happen? What's an ego? John has a following. Thus he says, of course, he has a huge following. An ever-growing one and whatnot, too. But it's a well-deserved following. It's a well-deserved reputation, too, I think it's wonderful what he's doing. Postcard Mania, yep. Maybe. But it's one of those strike while the iron's hot kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Quality, That's why premium brands sell for more money. I mean, there's a lot of, you could make that same statement across many product lines, from luxury store brands and all. It's the same stuff, but people like the names or people like the reputation of certain companies. Disney is a big thing, People have expectations when they go to Disney that far exceed the reality of life. Trust me, having worked there and been there a trillion times. But it's their reputation and their brand is everything. So a lot of bad shippers. Yeah, I know. I've heard. Again, I don't have any personal experience, thank goodness, with it, but I've heard and seen the videos, like I'm sure a lot of you other guys have seen, of damaged stuff and just really, shoddily prepared shipments and all that nonsense. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's controlled by supply and demand, It's a marketplace. Auction marketplace. That's the byproduct of an auction. And the more people you have watching, guess what? You're going to have more people bidding. And guess what happens when more people bid? The price goes up. What do you know? Egos. I'm not going to let this guy beat me. I don't care what it costs. You just keep hitting that button. And who's winning all these things? Salud, Popeye. Yeah, Kelly gets deals, that's for sure. Because he's smart enough to know the value of the stuff he's picking up in my store as well. Without question, Stephen. To everything, there is a season. Turn, turn, turn. $5. You can start it higher. Oh, I know. Well, everybody, anything else going on you want to talk about? It is the chat show, after all. We're still waiting. For those who might be wondering, because I've been talking about this for a very long time, Travis, my buddy, who was co-host for the vast majority of these chat shows since February, is looking to return. I'm still waiting for an official date, and when he does return, we'll make a big deal of that for sure. And then part 2 to that is when he returns, we're going to try to have Kristen on the show, a rural squirrel. She's been invited as a guest. She's accepted graciously. She's given me multiple dates. And again, I just want to make sure Travis is on here to participate in that interview because he got to meet her out in Colorado a couple months ago now. And I just wanted to kind of talk about that experience. So hopefully he'll be back. And of course, like I said, check out the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can see when Travis returns, and we'll have Rural Scroll on. It should be a lot of fun. Getting lost in this. So sorry. Between you and me and everyone in here, yes, you're a little concerned that all these peeps are going to flood the postcard market. Sure. Yeah. Again, it's supply and demand. If there's more put into circulation, I'm the official bubble wrap supply to members. Where's he, by the way? He's probably in there picking from John, isn't he? All right, good night to you, Ben. Thanks for chiming in. Again, Ephemerama, baby. October 8th. We'll be talking about a lot. We still have a lot of time between now and October the 8th, a couple of weeks anyway. So we'll see you on Ephemerama. Thanks for coming in, Ben. Are you saying good night to Ben or good night to everybody, Ali? If I includes bubble wrap at every order, yeah. It's called quality shipping. Right. That, and somebody brought that point up once before. It's a great point. You know, you could say that the postcard market is saturated. It's too much of a blanket statement because it's true that there's so much uniqueness. Of course, there's examples of, you know, multiple copies of the similar postcards, but there's also tons of unique one-offs. Both, says Ali. Okay, no problem. Good night, Ali. Thanks for coming in. There'll always be a bunch of cards at each person. Yep, exactly. And there's a lot of one-offs, especially the RPPCs, where they're literally a one-time photo, you know? So, again, I would imagine with my whole supply and demand thesis that I've been talking about all this time, not thesis, that's the wrong word, whatever, philosophy, that you would think that would command a higher price, right? If it's a one-off, especially if it's something interesting. It's peanut time, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers. Excellent point, Dawn. As always. Yeah, sorry, a little bit of a slow night tonight. Really not. I just wanted to tell everybody about the excitement of my eBay experience today. I was really, really happy about that. I want to make sure, like I said, that good things about our friends at eBay get told. You know, good tales are told as well. Not always just hopping on the negativity and the bad experiences, which, again, happen all the time. But I just like to point out when something goes well. And it certainly did for me tonight. And that's about it. Whatnot. Tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, I will be on Whatnot, my usual show. Friday, we'll be doing the listing show. I am going to try to find some World War II stuff. I had a few people reach out to me because we did probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think. You guys can tell me if you remember. A couple weeks ago, we were listing, was it Saturday Evening Post, I think it was, 1943, and we had a bunch of ads. I still have some left from that. So maybe I'll load those up and we'll do some World War II stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's very intriguing, very interesting. And again, earlier today, I had a new subscriber reach out to me, and he was all excited about a nice lot, 120 magazines, Life magazines from the 40s and early 50s. So clearly, you know, most likely at least half of that stash should be World War II stuff, and he was pumped up about it. So I think we'll do a little more of that on Friday. So tomorrow night, Whatnot, Jiminy Flip It. If you haven't If you're not part of Whatnot, I do have a link still. I think I put it in pretty much every video now. You can get a $10 credit immediately. And it really is immediately, because the first time I joined, I was on John's thing, and don't you know, $10 went right towards the first purchase of postcards I made. That's really cool. It's instantaneous just for joining. So you can use that link if you'd like to. I'd be delighted if you'd consider following me over on Whatnot. And certainly if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. If you want to give a thumbs up on your way out the door, I'd appreciate that too. Have a great night, everybody. I will see you on Whatnot. If you're interested in picking up some great print ads, if you want to get into this niche, I highly suggest it. It's good stuff. Had a great day today with the postcards with print ads. A lot of sales today. So I'll see everybody Wednesday night. Tomorrow night, it turns out. I keep thinking it's Monday because it feels like Monday to me. But anyway, Wednesday night, 6 o'clock, right? For the Whatnot. Friday night at 6 for the listing show. We'll try to pick up some cool World War II era ads. And I'll see everybody then. So again, have a great night, everybody, and thanks for coming in. Bye-bye.